Hey guys, what's up? It's PkmariO, and today I actually have two things that I want to talk about. Now, first, I'm pretty sure that I have showed you in some previous videos, in a previous video, that you can hook up your game console to your VCR and record gameplay from your game console onto a VHS tape, provided it's a blank one. And I'm not sure about you guys, but of these four consoles that I have, the NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and GameCube, the GameCube is actually the only one that runs off of S-Video. And then, of course, there's my Wii U, which runs off of HDMI, basically making it impossible to play... basically making it impossible for you to record Wii U games onto VHS. I believe that because the Wii still has those, still has the audio-video inputs, that you can use that for VHS recording, but anything after that I don't believe you can do. But with my GameCube, I actually have S-Video. It runs off of S-Video. So typically when you have these old game consoles, you're gonna have these inputs here, yellow, white, and there's one underneath, red. Or for a better example, I have this one, which is actually just yellow duct tape over a white one just to indicate that it's yellow, and a red one. This one's for the NES because the NES is mono, meaning that it's just the same sound coming out of both speakers, whereas if it's stereo, then sometimes certain sounds might come out of the left channel and other sounds might come out of the right channel. Well, with the GameCube, at least with mine, I'm not sure about any of you guys, but with my GameCube, I actually have it running off of S-Video. And there is a bit of a problem with that. The only S-Video input on the back of this DVD-VCR combo is actually an S-Video output, and it's on the DVD side, so even if it did work, I wouldn't be able to use it for VHS recording. But there is actually a workaround to this if you too are having this issue. And here we have my second GameCube, which I got at a thrift store for $2. The first one I got from my cousin. Well, actually, this one I got second. This was technically my first one. But anyway, I got this one for $2 at a thrift store. It came with everything except for the audio-video output, which is needed if you want to actually see what you are playing. But there was actually one thing that I found out that I was able to use as a workaround, and it's something that all three game consoles have. So really, if you want to save money on this cord, then just get one and hook up whatever game console when you want to. So all of them, despite having different power cords, all of them have the same analog AV out. There is a digital AV out for the GameCube, but, well, it's $100 to get a digital AV out, $100 Canadian, whereas it's $10 to get an analog AV out. And I really don't think it makes that much of a difference. One of my friends who knows a lot more about this stuff, because he watches a lot of videos relating to hooking up your video game consoles, but as far as I'm aware, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. I've never actually tried it myself, but I don't think it would make that much of a difference, and for $90 more, it's really not worth it, I don't think. But anyway, Yeah, if you want to, if you really want to save money on your AV out cord, then just get your Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and GameCube. Get the power cord for all of them, of course, otherwise you can't actually play them. And you can actually just unplug it from one console and put it into another. And I actually used this as a workaround. I unplugged my Nintendo 64's AV out and I plugged it into my GameCube's AV out, and I was able to record gameplay footage from my GameCube onto VHS. Of course, we have this Super Smash Bros. Melee VHS, which you may have seen in my lipless VHS tape video. And here we have my Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door VHS recording, which isn't complete, because I was just recording it before this video. And actually, speaking of which, I wanted to show you guys something else, in case you're thinking about recording gameplay footage on VHS for yourself. Now, of course, I like to record most of my VHS tapes at SP speed, because although it only gives you 2 hours to record, sometimes the manufacturers are generous and they give you an extra couple of minutes just in case you go over. And there are other tapes that give you 2 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. But if you really want to get the most out of your VHS, at least in terms of time, then you would want to switch it to EP speed, or in the case of this RCA brand VHS, of which I got 8 of these at a flea market for 62 cents each, totaling at $5, which is probably the best deal that I've gotten on a VHS, on a bunch of VHS tapes so far. But yeah, in this case it's SLP. But either way, it's pretty much the same thing. EP, SLP. Now my VCR, now my DVD VCR only has SP and EP. Some of them also have the LP speed, which if you have one of these tapes, one of these 120-minute VHS tapes, then it should give you 4 hours to record. And EP speed, it's where you can get the most out of your tape, at least time-wise. It gives you 6 hours. However, there is a downside. The more you put onto the VHS, the lower the quality will be, because the tape needs to be moving at a certain speed in order for you to get the ideal quality. However, some people just really don't care. They want to get the most bang for their buck, and they just put it on EP speed so that way they can put as much onto a VHS tape as possible. And I will just say this, only, and I mean only, use the EP or SLP speed if you absolutely need it. If you have a game that you want to record a lot of gameplay footage for, and you don't really have too many VHS tapes to do that on, then sure, use the EP speed. If you have a large block of TV programming that you want to put onto VHS, then sure, use the EP speed. But if you want to have a high quality recording of a video game and you know that you're not going to be on there for 6 hours, and you know that you're not going to be doing it for 6 hours, you know you're not going to record it for that long, then do not, and I mean do not, use anything other than the SP speed. If you have the LP speed, then cool, okay, you have one of those VCRs that actually has it. But anyway, I am going to demonstrate to you in just a second what that will look like. Okay, here we are, pushing in the VHS tape. If you remove the copy protection tab, then it'll play automatically, at least it does on this VCR. So play. Now, I'm not sure, I don't think you can notice all of the imperfections through this potato quality iPad camera, but I'm pretty sure that you can notice that the screen is moving like that. Even just look at the numbers. You can see that they're moving. Now in some cases this might just be because the tape is warped, but I know that the tape isn't warped on this one because I had it stored in ideal conditions. Normally it only warps when it's really warm. But yeah, just look at the font, look at Mario standing there. The colors are a bit off, pretty much the same as doing it in the SP speed. The colors are just slightly less vibrant than the actual game, but there's all these lines all over the screen. They were more noticeable when the curtains were down, but yeah, everything is moving quite a bit. And to show you a comparison and contrast, to that, I will play this Super Smash Bros. Melee VHS, which I recorded in SP speed, just so that way you can get the right idea of what I mean. And although I don't have any other recordings of Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, this will just have to do because it's another GameCube game. Notice, even though the screen is moving because I myself am moving around in the game, you don't see it quivering, you don't see it moving back and forth like this, and you don't see any of the lines that you do in the EP recording. And that's because this was recorded at SP speed, meaning that the tape is traveling faster than it would at the EP speed. You can see that the letters are not moving nearly as much. It actually looks pretty good, and with this potato quality iPad camera, it almost looks comparable. You know, it almost looks exactly like the actual game. But yeah, unless you absolutely need to record your VHS tape on EP speed, I would not recommend doing so. So yeah, I guess that's all, and I will see you all in another video. Bye.